2.5 years ago, we installed solar panels, we installed a battery at this property here. And then 3 days later, this happens. The family was distraught. The house was beyond saving, and an investigation was launched to find the cause of this disaster. And unfortunately for us, everything pointed towards heatable. But no one could have expected what would be revealed when the family returned to their abandoned home and found that their system had been selling energy back to the grid the entire time. Fast forward 2.5 years later, we're back to finish the install, but also to find out what actually happened.
I don't want to set the world on fire.
Back in 2023, we installed those original REA Fusion 2s with the N-phase microinverters, but back then it was the IQ7 Plus. Now we also installed a 10 kilowatt hour Alpha B3 Plus. This whole system was AC coupled. Its peak power was about 5 kilowatts, and it had an annual estimated production of about 4,500 kilowatt hours. But there was one thing we couldn't do on the day, but we ran out of time. We were going to come back, but then obviously disaster strikes.
I've lost all ambition for worldly acclaim.
It made all the walls come off, all of the flooring needed replacing, and all of the electrical items had obviously died.
I mean, it's been hard work. We had to move out, we had to find somewhere to rent for 12 months.
Now, whether or not it was us that actually caused this in the first place, we felt terrible for the customer, especially because there was one thing left on the list we didn't do: install a car charger. The customer at the same time was going to move to an EV, and they were going to use the solar system, the battery system, and those off-peak tariffs to charge that EV, and they needed a charger to do it. We were going to come back. Obviously, we couldn't. Now, don't get me wrong, we wanted to come back and get this Hypervolt fitted pretty much straight away, but considering the circumstances, the carnage in the house, the unsolved cause of the issue, we thought it best just to step to one side, let everything settle down, let it get worked out. We'll come back to that. 2 years later, we are finishing this install. There is a challenge though. Chargers, batteries can cause problems. Let's go and see Kian. He can explain the problem.
You've already done half the work.
Done half the work, so we're just running cable round to it now. So the cable's just been clipped following the cable for the battery. Just up to this point now, about halfway through. We've already drilled them all, so it's just going round now with the screws, screwing the cleats on.
So obviously last time when we did this, we ran this armoured round.
For the battery.
For the battery. So why can't we come off that now in that side?
Because if you just wire it straight to that consumer unit, the battery's off, the battery would drain into the car charger, which you don't really want.
Now, you'd be surprised, it's not really uncommon to run into these issues. When you've got multiple manufacturers trying to get to one result and they're not all working on the same platform, it can cause issues. And that definitely came to my mind when I saw Kian running that entire new cable right round the side of the house.
The house is fed off here, and then the battery goes that way, so that battery monitors anything on the load. So if you put the car charger on that board down there, the battery would monitor the load on the battery as well, so see it as a load.
So if he charges his car,
yeah,
it'll pull from the battery?
Pull from because the battery just sees it as a load. It doesn't know the difference between the car charger and putting the kettle on.
Let's summarise that quandary. If you have a car charger and you have a battery, there can be an issue where you can end up dumping the battery into the car, and you don't really want to do that because your car might have like an 80 kilowatt hour battery, and your home battery, like in this case, it's 10 kilowatt hours, so it's not really efficient to convert it and put it into the vehicle. The challenge is if the battery sees a load, the battery thinks there's a load in the property, I need to supply it. And what it can't do is differentiate. And what it can't do is differentiate. Is that right? How can I say that? And what it can't do is gonna take a while, this. What it can't do is differentiate between a house load and an EV load. The battery's just gonna supply that power. And so the only way around this, you wire the charger so it's sort of blind of the rest of the system. The system doesn't know there's a load going on. You put the CT clamps, the eyes of the battery, after the charger, so the charger can still use energy, it can still use that cheap energy at night time, and the battery doesn't see it, and therefore the battery doesn't go, oh, I'll supply that. So what that means for us right now, we need to run another cable, because we already had one cable going from this side of the house all the way around to that battery, and we can't come off that battery to power the charger. We need to run a separate cable and put in a new fuse board. Bit annoying. There's not really a better solution at the moment. So Kean cracks on installing that brand new cable right round the perimeter of the property.
So you've got your live neutral and earth, which is the powering for the car charger. Then you've got a Cat 6 cable in the back there, so that's just for your comms for your CT clamp that goes back to the main meter. So rather than having two cables on the outside of the house, you just have the one cable and it's got both the cables you need.
This is power and comms as well?
Yeah, so it's power, so that's for your power, and then that's for your communication cable for your CT clamps.
Will the power cables running alongside it not cause like interference?
No, so it's a special designed cable for that. So the cable's been rated for it. The Cat 6 cable's sheathed, so it doesn't cause any interference with the obviously the high of 230 volts, and then your comms, which is 12 volt.
Oh, sick. Okay.
From there, you could crack on with mounting that separate consumer unit that was going to allow us to separate those loads from the rest of the property. There was a few more hitches we had to sort of work around. One of them, the cleats, the little clips that hold the cable, we were short. We needed more to make it a neater job.
Are you out of cleats now then?
Yeah, to be fair, it's only like 10 short.
Can you not use sellotape?
Chewing gum. You got any
Chewing
chewing gum? See if you'll go screw fix for me.
So I said, look, it's fine, I'll go.
Some zip ties as well.
My job here at Heatable is to drive and pick up equipment that the team have forgot to order.
That's great, that.
Date.
You run the business, you say, look, I'll help out, I'll do some videos for you, get you off the ground. Then they drag you into doing all the videos, taking you all around the UK filming it, and then when they run out of stuff on a job, can you go and get it, Ben? Now on the way back from Screwfix, all that's really going through my mind here is we have to get this right for this customer. We can't afford any more hiccups, especially after what he's been through with this property. It needs to go well. It was bad. Basically what happened was we finished the install. I think it was like 3 days later, a pipe bursts in the loft space. Obviously we've been working in and around the loft space. And it's not like a cold water pipe, it's off the combi boiler. It's the hot supply pipe had popped out of its joint and had flooded the entire property. They had gone on holiday.
Oh God.
So they come back like 3 or 4 days later, and for this entire time, boiling water from the boiler has been constantly running.
It was the steam. All of the walls had dry mould on, all the clothes, the beds, everything was covered in mould from the steam.
It's like cold water does damage. This is boiling water.
Absolutely everything in the house, apart from the date sign and one radiator, needed replacing.
They obviously can't live there. They have to move out. They have to go into a hotel, contact the insurance. They notify us, and like not to take anything away from the tragedy, but we're then in a state of panic too, because we're like, oh my God, what have we done? We've obviously knocked something, something's happened. How have we caused this?
That is the big question, isn't it though? Like, did we do it?
This job had to be perfect. I didn't want a single hair out of place, no tragedies, no more disasters. Let's just get it right for the customer. Well, it turns out, as I arrive back, another disaster is already taking place.
Oh, the Hypervolt here actually.
I haven't got it, have you?
think Liv's got it. Got delivered here.
Have you got the Hypervolt? No?
He got delivered here, didn't he?
You've had taken a bit.
No.
Yeah, you are.
Oh no. You ordered it, didn't you?
No.
You're lying. No, you're having me
No,
on.
I'm not. I genuinely not.
I'm generally not having you on.
Yeah, you are.
I swear
No,
down.
he's not.
Do you not have the Hypervolt Home 3 Pro?
Why the f would I?
You generally not ordered it.
Why would I?
Now my instincts are right here. We've turned up to a job without the actual product to install.
Ben's here now.
What's that?
We don't have an EV charger.
You winding me up.
Don't look at me.
That Hypervolt, nowhere to be seen. A 10 metre one, you got no chance. How have we not ordered that? Because someone just run me through this. What had actually happened here, on that original install, we had the Hypervolt with us, but we didn't fit it. That went back to the office and it was returned. But on the system, it was marked as ordered. So when we returned to site, everyone assumed it was with the customer. Turns out it wasn't. Immediately, I'm starting to panic. We've got to find a Hypervolt in a black case with a 10 metre lead local to this property. I jump on Google, do some searching, and my initial findings, yeah, not good. It's okay, it's okay. There's a place in Portsmouth that's got one. And looking back at that footage, I think I was managing that pretty well. I wasn't really letting on how stressed I actually was. In the back of my mind, all I could think about was the flood, the carnage, the years this family had to live without a home, living in hotel rooms. Things were looking bleak.
So, was it actually us? Like, are we the ones who caused it? Or?
I mean, I won't lie to you, at first, total panic, because we've been in that loft space. 3 days later, this happens, so you just naturally sort of put 2 and 2 together. Afterwards, I was thinking, well, to be fair, we were working on like the right-hand side, and apparently it happened on the left. And also, like, the lads, you've met them, like, we know them, they're not careless, but the coincidence was there. And then 2 weeks later, agonising for 2 weeks, we get a phone call from the insurance assessor. It's not us. It's a total freak accident. He knew we were like in a state of panic, and we'd been speaking to him for the whole time. He actually got me on the phone, but he said it's not even in the loft, it was in like a corner. And I don't know. To be honest, I didn't even listen to anything that he said. The only words I heard were, "It's not you." Everyone in the office was like, listen to the phone call. And I went like that. David Simmons went,
One in stock in Burnley.
picked off.
2.7 miles away.
10 metre cable.
10 metre black. See?
You can ring and make sure it's in.
Yeah, good mate, good mate. I've just had a look online and it says you've got a 10 metre black Hypervolt in stock. Have you still got that in?
I'll check for you now, mate, if you give me a second. What was it, 10 metre one?
10 metre, yeah, black one.
I thought Devil was a school teacher.
10 metre. I do, yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Can you book it out and we'll come and pick it up now?
First?
No worries, ta mate.
Cheers, mate.
Bye. John Fuel card.
So we're set out to go and grab the last piece of the puzzle, knowing that we don't have to give this family any more bad news. We're going to get this wrapped up and finished for them. And like I said, there was also that other silver lining to this whole story. Whilst the property was being rebuilt, it was empty. There wasn't much load. There was some dehumidifiers, there was builders working, but that system was still producing. And it was a super safe system anyway, because it was an end-phase system, AC coupled. There was no risk about water ingress causing arcing. It's AC, it's safe. The customer decided to leave it active, and what actually happened was it produced a pile of energy, but because it wasn't being consumed, it was exported and they got paid for that export. Now I've got all the stats, let's put them on the screen now. Okay, first things first, let's start with the end-phase panel production. Now, because this is an end-phase system, you can see every single panel on the roof, you get an array map, and you can see what they are all doing individually. Now what's interesting here is the top panels have produced more power because they're at the top, they've got no shading, they get more light, they're in sort of the 870 kilowatt hour range each. The lower array, they're getting like 860, not a huge difference, but every little bit counts with solar. Now, collectively, this array has produced 10.4 megawatt hours since it was installed. That is a huge amount of power. Now, with the Enphase system, it's all about the panels. You can see what's going on individually, and we can see that collective production. But if we want to get into the data, then we need to look at the alpha system. Okay, the system goes live in 2023. We can see that production and we can see the load. Now, the reason it's a smaller graph is because that system didn't go in until the end of the year. Now, obviously this flood happens just after the install. And the reason the load is so high for that small period is that we have to put dehumidifiers into the property because we need to draw all of that moisture out. We've got builders in ripping out using power tools. Pretty high loads. 2024, different story. Production is massive. We've got a huge amount of PV power and our load is about the same for the whole year as that small period in 2023. The interesting line here is feed-in. This is export back to the grid. That sort of brownie colour, absolutely huge. We export a huge amount of energy, about 2,500 kilowatt hours back to the grid, and we get income for that. 2025 PV is getting even stronger. We haven't even finished this year and we've already outperformed last year's performance. Panels seem to be getting better. The weather has been great in 2025, but we're still exporting and we are way over our home load. If you look at the blue line, that is the load in the home. The yellow is the PV production. We have produced more than we have consumed and we've been exporting back to the grid. Now, all of this production and all of this export combined with a pretty low load has meant for the whole period, this property has had PV, this customer has had no energy bills. They've not paid anything from the grid and they've actually had nearly £1,000 in export back from the grid because they've just been sending all of that energy out. So there is positives to this terrible situation. So with those solar panels and that battery working away in the background, bringing in all that income, the insurance company stepping in to repair all the damage, ultimately the customer was eventually able to bounce back from this disaster. Now there is one thing we still need to do to put an end to this whole project. We need to crack on and get that Hypervolt installed and ready to go. Now usually with car chargers, they are pretty simple, but not on this job. Where the customer wanted the Hypervolt installing, that was a decent distance from where he actually parks the vehicle. So we had to get the Hypervolt with the 10-meter lead. The standard one is 5 meters and they're available pretty much everywhere. The next one up, the 7.5, a bit trickier. The 10-meter model, that is a special order component. All the Hypervolts charge at 7 kilowatts for AC power. They don't have a DC version, they're all AC, but your car will do that conversion for you. There is also 3 choices for the front cover. Right here we have the black cover, but there's also space grey and white, and they're interchangeable. So if you change your mind later on, you can always switch it around. Now the good thing about Hypervolt is it's a smart charger and it actually works with the grid. So what you can do is set low cost charge times in the app and you can use them with dynamic tariffs. So they can spot if energy is cheap in the energy system. It can activate your vehicle if it's plugged in. You're not having to pre-program it, run outside and connect it when the energy prices drop. They're essentially an outdoor socket. You run the cables in, there's a live, neutral and an earth, and you also run the data so it can be connected to the grid to make sure it doesn't overpower, and also so you can connect it to your Wi-Fi. Now when it comes to installing one of these, we said here, didn't we?
No.
You joking me? We've drilled 5 holes. It's a simple case of mounting it to the wall with these securing screws. You're joking. Dead battery. Dead battery. Oh. Is that a new level?
Brand new, yeah.
Have we bought that?
No.
I bought it.
You haven't?
You've already done with that tester. You then run that cable in, terminate it.
I have to read the manual.
Yeah, what for?
A little mess up on this can cause the full system not to work, and the 30 seconds reading the manual took saved a 3-hour trip back.
Make sure the box is watertight because it is an external appliance. fit that cover on, and then it's about commissioning the product. And in no time at all, Kean has got that Hypervolt mounted to the wall, wired up and ready to go. If you're interested in seeing a full Hypervolt review, then you can click this video on screen somewhere here. And if you've enjoyed this video, give it a like. Any questions, drop a comment below and check, are you subscribed to the channel? Because we know only 22% of the people who watch these videos are subscribed. Please press that button, it massively helps the channel. See you on the next one.